If you have, yeah, grab your coffee. If you haven't, yeah, grab your tea, grab your Coke, anything that you need to grab to keep you to keep up the energy for the next 2 hours or an hour and a half. You need it. I promise you. This is going to be a ride, and it's going to be a 3 weeks course. So you can't miss 1 week because you'll be missing out on a lot of things. You sign up for 3 weeks, so let's go on this 3 weeks journey together. Upskill our portfolio, and hopefully this is something that'll be useful for you. Thank you. I'm grabbing my own tea too. As you come in, please mute yourself so that you don't interrupt. And when we need you to ask questions, we would unmute you, but we want to admonish you to please mute yourself. Thank you. I will, myself and Sab, I'm going to introduce Sab later. We're from STEMHub, and we'll be your wonderful host today. Sab, can you help me be mute? Can you help us be muting people as they come in? Because they may not know. But please. On it. Well, we have we want to spend the first 10 minutes introducing STEMHub.
Right.
And also talking a bit about the program, also introducing you. And so you can feel free to just take a breath while we get the introduction going.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, you can call me.
We also put a survey together to help understand where people are in their journey. Mm-hmm. And we're hoping that with the survey, also after the classes, that you also, as the structure, will understand the level of people's understanding and what they've learned over the period of the 3 weeks.
Sounds good.
And Sab is an agile coach, so he's a. I think this is something that is very interesting for him as well, because he does things related to this at work.
Oh, nice, cool stuff. So he's like one of my people.
Yeah, technically. We have 31 people in, so I don't know, but I know we have over 200 people register, according to SAP. So we kind of limited the number. We hope everybody gets to come in. Hi all, as you come in, please mute yourself, and we will get started in 1 minute or so. Okay, it's 10 o'clock and I am going to get started with some introduction here. And welcome everyone. My name is Dr. Adi and I am the founder of STEMHub Foundation. And I will be doing a little presentation about the organization and before we start the program that you're here for today. We're very, very pleased that you have chosen to spend some time with us today. And we're hoping that this will be the beginning of your journey. If you haven't been using project management tools before, we're hoping that this will be the beginning of some utilization of such skills for you. Just give me a second. Looks like this is butane. Sab, are you there?
Yes,
Can you
I'm
focus on admitting people, please, and helping us to
here.
get them?
For sure.
Okay. I don't know. This is
I
just
cannot.
rolling. Maybe. Okay, maybe I'm gonna use. Oh God, everybody's gonna see all the tabs I have open. Okay. Separated it. Sorry. I don't know. I think the internet or something is slow, but yeah. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Street methods. We look at street slicing. Then we also work with a format function as well as we learn some tasking.
I hope this is going to work. All right. Welcome, everybody. My name is Dr. Adiola Olubamiji, and I go by Dr. Adi. I am the founder of STEMHub Foundation. And before we get started today on the project management topic that we are here for 3 weeks, we want to introduce you to STEMHub Foundation, the organization that is powering this program. And I'll tell you a little bit about why we started STEMHub Foundation in the first place. And the reason is because we want to ensure that we understand a little bit why this organization matters and why our community needs it. One of them is that over the next 10 years, we will have 17% growth in STEM careers, not only across Canada, but across the world. Also in 2018 alone, Canada's 10 most in-demand jobs were all STEM degrees related. Over the last 10 years, we have seen that the number of women increase in STEM has been really stagnating. We had only moved from 20 to 22%. Because of this, STEMHub Foundation is on a mission to ensure that we increase accessibility to practical and quality STEM programs to minority youths from low income and underserved communities in Ontario, Canada. And because of the fact that we have COVID-19 and the pandemic, we have been able to utilize the virtual platforms to extend our reach beyond Ontario. I believe some of you will be joining this program today from Nigeria, from Ghana, from India, from the US, and from different places. And it is because of the virtual opportunity that we have that we've been able to extend this beyond Ontario, where we started from. STEMHub Foundation was launched in 2017, and it was a collective idea. It was an idea that came to life by myself. And then I got a couple of my colleagues to join me to let's build a hub where people can come to and give back to their community. And over the last 3 years or 4 years, we are proud to say STEMHub has been an organization that is for us and led by us. And one of the reasons why this is important is because people cannot be what they cannot see. So our mission is to ensure that we connect you to accessible, practical, tech-related and STEM-related opportunities, but to make sure that the people who are serving you also look like you. And we have 4 areas that we deal with at STEMHub. The first one pretty much is that we want to make sure that in the process of helping, that we are advancing education through provision of free, creative, hands-on programs and some programs for youths, for young people in grade 2 to 12. So we're talking about 7-year-olds to 18-year-olds. The reason for that is because we believe that young people have the opportunity to learn new language fast when they're like 7-year-olds. And the same way, they have the opportunity to learn mathematics and other technical related stuff at those early age. Our aim is to be able to catch them young. The other aim or objective that we focus on at STEMHub is provision of, hands-on skill development programs such as this Tech Masterclass, where we are focusing squarely on Industry 4.0 trainings, opportunities, webinars, and we will bring you people who are reputable in this field to ensure that we have the right information passed down to you. Why is this important? As digital transformation take over our world, people with these skills are going to be able to compete for different jobs, new jobs that are created, which means there will be economic power being given to those people with those skills. Our aim is to make sure that we want to empower minority youths with those power. So when we're thinking about economic buoyancy, we will be able to participate in this moving forward. The third one is the provision of scholarships for people who have need-based scholarship, but with great achievement. What we know, especially with the pandemic, is that due to that, a lot of students couldn't pay their school fees. Some of them who used to take up summer jobs could not take up summer jobs to be able to augment their payments or the different fees they pay for. Our aim is to find organizations across the country, partner with these organizations, and ensure that we are able to send a few good, smart people with needs back to the universities across Canada. The fourth one is ensuring that we provide one-to-one mentorship program. Last week, Saturday, STEMHub again launched our 2021 STEM Stars program, a program where we match people who work in the industry with students or early career professionals, whether they recently migrated into Canada or they have been in the country, but they just transitioned into a new career. So we are matching them with experienced professionals who work in the industry. This year, we are proud to be partnering with Benchside and Fairmex, 2 tech companies in downtown Toronto who decided that they want to put their money where their mouth is at. So they are partnering with us, and they have given us people within their organizations to mentor people who are trying to transition into tech. And those are the 4 things that STEMHub focus on. And can you mute yourselves, please? Sam, are you here? Sam, I need you to help watch this mute buttons. Yes. As you come in, we want to ask you that you respectfully mute yourself, because if you're talking over each other, then you are obstructing other people's opportunity to listen. Thank you for your understanding. So the four objectives that I mentioned up there were divided into 4 programs. Our STEM Scholars program deal with scholarships. Our STEMing program is where we catch the kids young. Our STEM Skills program is what is powering this Tech Masterclass. And our STEM Stars program is the mentorship program. I think I won't go into further details here because of time. And I just want to show you some numbers in terms of some of the good stuff that we have ongoing. And hold on. So I don't know if you're on here today, you're wondering, can I volunteer with STEMHub? Is there an opportunity for me to be a part of this change-making team? Yes, you're free to join us. And I'm just showing you a picture here of what our team look like. We are 25 people who have STEM education-based background, who are facilitating our STEMing programs for young people. We have 8 people on our social media, making sure that this information reach you for you to be able to register today. We have 4 people who are working actively to develop curriculums, 3 people handling our websites and IT related matter. And we have 6 people on our program planning team. And Sab, who is my colleague today, is from that team. And then we have the grant writing team, who have continued to work hard to help us secure the grants to be able to pay professionals that we hire for some of this program. We have the communication team to make sure that we communicate our aim and objective to the community nicely. And definitely, because we're a charity organization that is public, we have to show our finances yearly. If you are interested to volunteer with us, please feel free to reach out to us. And how do you reach out to us? You can reach out to us via info@STEMHubFoundation.com and let us know what department you are interested in volunteering for. Thank you for your attention. Again, Bola, this is why we wanted to use the webinar, because I feel like with about 200 people on a call, it's just going to be a little tough to keep people quiet. All right, so I'm going to go into telling us a bit about the next 9 weeks. So over the next 9 weeks, hold on. Sorry. All right. I don't know where I have it. Over the next 9 weeks, our aim is to bring to you 3 different areas. I think I have it in my background here. And what are we trying to do here? We realize that for every professional, wherever you work, there is always an opportunity to improve how you manage your projects. And our aim is that over the next 3 weeks, Bola will help us with understanding the right tools that we can add to our portfolio to effectively manage our progress, our projects at work, and to keep record in a way where we will deliver our work professionally. And after these first 3 sessions, we would move on to the product management courses. This will also be a set of three classes that would enable us to be able to learn from a senior product manager who will walk us through how this also works. The last one will focus on data analytics. So if you're interested in improving your presentation skills, improving your ability to analyze data, improving your statistical skills, this is the session you want to attend. It is the last 3 sessions will cater to that. I feel like if you can see my background, you probably can see the 3 different categories. Our aim is that when you register for this session, so let's say you register, the first one we put out is the project management. That when you register for that, you're not only registered to be here today, that you're making efforts to be here for the next 3 weeks so that you can learn everything that you need to at least be able to get started on your project management journey. And now I will go ahead and introduce the team that will be here with us today. Again, my name is Adiola Olubamiji. I go by Dr. Adi. And Sab, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, I can do that. Hey, Sarver Joy here. I have been with STEMHub Foundation for about a year-ish. I like it's been a while, and I work as a Scrum Master in a Big 5 bank in Canada, and yeah, I just love doing things, and I'm also troubleshooting events and the event and such. So if there's any audio problems or any and access problems, I'm the one troubleshooting things for you folks, as well as, yeah, just happy to be here, help you all in any way possible, as well as support Dr. Addy and Bola and all of you in your learning journey as much as I can. Sarba Joy, I am done.
Thank you. Thank you, Sab. And today we have the honor of bringing our formidable speaker, Bola Adesope. And I'm not sure if you participated in STEMHub Tech Masterclass last year. Bola was here to help us understand how Agile and Scrum works. And some of those skills I have been trying to put into my own portfolio. So when the opportunity came to bring him back, I was very quick to go back to him as somebody who I have seen over the years lead multiple people on their journey to become PMP certified and using these skills in the industry across Canada. Bola is a partner and lead coach at Stacy and Lloyd, a global business transformation firm. He has over a decade of experience and expertise in management consulting, business transformation, change management, project portfolio management, and business analytics across Europe, North America, and Africa. Bola is a certified project management, business analytics, agile, and mindset coach, and has worked for organizations such as Bell Canada, Sonnet Insurance, TD Bank, and Accenture. Is a faculty member at Takedia Institute's mini MBA program and a number of other colleges and institutes where he has trained over 3,500 professionals. Bola has spoken at several conferences and summits across Europe, North America, and Africa. Please join me in welcoming our speaker today. Bola, welcome. Thank you.
Thank you very much as I am always happy to answer the call when Dr. Adi asked me to do something. I don't like her to go first. She sets that standard and I'm like, oh my goodness, how do I keep the momentum? How do I, but I'm gonna try and let's see. So
can I interrupt you a bit?
Yes.
I'd like to recognize one of our directors and founding member who has joined us, Mr. Bimbola Olujide, who is also one of the people powering this program. It's good to have you on, sir. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Hadi. Thank you, Bola. Nice to see you here again. I'm all here. So I've borrowed 2 more to join the 2 I have. So I have 4 here listening out to you this evening. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. Thank you. I'm really privileged to be here. I'm going to be driving the project management component of STEMHub Foundation Masterclass. A bit about myself has been said. I don't think that I need to sort of introduce myself again. So you've sort of met me. Dr. Hadi has done fantastic work with the introduction, but I don't really know who you are. I don't know the people in the audience. I've not really met a lot of people, but I understand fundamentally that one of the elements of human productivity is relationship. But underneath that, there's a lot of diagnostics, and most of those diagnostics are not statistically significant. But what I want to do here is to do a quick psychographic profile of this audience. But I'm not going to do that by asking you to introduce yourself. We probably won't spend the entire 90 minutes doing that. I want to carry out some activities, and that activity will help me to understand the profile of the people that we have in this class. So if you've got a pen and a paper, if you're not going to use it any other time, you're going to use it now. So pick a pen and a paper and write 1 to 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just write that. I believe that everybody should be done writing 1 to 9. The next instruction is, I want you to add the numbers that you've written. We'll give another 30 seconds or 45 seconds, maybe 60 seconds to do that. Add the numbers that you've written. If you can, try not to use a calculator. By the way, I'm not testing your math skill here. Just add the numbers. All things being equal, which they rarely are, all things being equal, you should get 45. Now, if you did not get 45, don't say anything. Now, this is where the profiling comes in. There are some people that arrived at 45 by adding 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9. If you are that person, just put in the chat me, and I'll tell you your profile. Great, 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 great. Awesome, 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 awesome. Cool stuff. So if you added 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5, you are a logical, step-by-step, process-driven individual. You like to follow processes. You like to take one step after the other. Your brain is wired in such a way that you have to follow a particular process to get to your destination. You are the type of person that will go to your friend's house several times, but every time that you're going, you're punching the address in your GPS. You're that kind of person. Logical, step-by-step, process-driven. One step at a time. That's who you are. The next category of people will be people that arrived at 45 by thinking in tens, by looking at patterns, by looking at relationship between numbers. These guys will do 1 plus 9, 10. 2 plus 8, 10. 3 plus 7, 10. 4 plus 6, 10. They only think in 10. So they're looking at patterns. They're looking at trends. They're looking at a combination of things that will give them 10. If you're that person, type me. I want to see. Absolutely. Bookie, absolutely. Yeah, Tony, great, great. They can only see in tens. These guys are not as process-driven as the first category of people. They're looking at relationship between events. They're looking at patterns. Then the third category of people are the people that will add in fives, mid-range. That's how their brains are wired. They can't really think in tens. They think in five. So 1 plus 4, 2 plus 3, 5, 6 plus 9, 15, 7 plus 8, 15. Now, these guys can go in between the logical, process-driven category and the people that look for patterns and trends. Now, what does that mean when it comes to learning? Psychologists have been able to map these three categories into learning style. So the first category are the people that we call auditory learners. They're auditory learners. They hear and then they follow. That's how they learn. The second category, they've been able to map with kinesthetic learners. And then the third, they said, would be the visual learners. They're just looking for fives. So it's interesting to see that we have all of these categories in, oh, I was using the iPad to annotate.
Oh, with the iPad.
Yeah.
I removed it.
But we can continue because I wanted to be able to write, but it's okay.
You can put it back in. I didn't see I didn't say a name. So usually.
Yeah, I apologize. I apologize.
Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. I should have changed the name. So let me try and join back in a minute. I do apologize.
So maybe while you do that, we want to tell you guys that we have put together a survey. The aim of the survey is to know, first of all, where you are as you're starting this program, and also to also get some feedback from you in terms of what other type of skills are you hoping to learn, so that, you know, with whatever voice you give to us, I go back to the board to plead whether we could administer more skill acquisition programs. And SAB has put this in here for us. It's put it in the chat here. And you could see it here, STEMHub Foundation to participant. It was posted at 10:22 a.m. While we wait for Bola, can you please click on that link and help us fill out the survey? Our aim is to administer the survey now and administer another survey at the end of the 3 weeks to help the teacher and ourselves know how impactful this process is for you. Please, we want to admonish you to please take 1 minute while we wait for Bola to help us fill out the survey form. Can you do that for us now, please? Thank you.
All right, so while that is ongoing, I just tried to send a message to let me know when you're done, and then we can get back. But I'm not able to join again because, you know, the iPad has been banned from.
What are we going to do?
No, it's okay. I will try to. I'll try to use another way.
Yeah, this is my over. Everything must be good. Oh.
I'll try to use another method.
Really sorry. This is in the past when we had administered Tech Masterclass without a webinar, we've had ACAS come into the program, signing in with like iPad, iPhone, so we don't see any face or any. So that's why when I have any session going on, I try to kind of look out to see, okay, who is this?
Right.
Sorry. How is the survey going, people? If you've completed it, can you say done? Thank you.
Sarvajra here. I've also sent the survey via Eventbrite email. So if in case you may not be able to find it in your chats, you can also see it in your emails that will come out in like 2 to 5 minutes. So hope that will work.
Okay. Thank you. We can continue, sir.
Okay, cool. All right, so this is the structure of the PMP component of the entire masterclass. But I want to start first with the objectives or the goals that we've set for ourselves. So at the end of this 3-week element of project management, you will be able to understand the foundational concepts in project management at the end of this. Also, you'll understand the phases and the stages of a typical project life cycle at the end. Also, at the end, you'll learn some strategic alignment between customer satisfaction and project management. And then lastly, you will be able to, all things being equal, manage projects and deliver project within scope, cost, and schedule. Broken into 3 days. The first day, we will look at organizational model, wide project management. We'll define project and some other things. And then day 2, next week, Saturday, we'll go into initiating and planning a project. And then the last day, we'll look at executing a project, tracking, reporting, and then closing a project. So let's start today with project management fundamentals. But usually, what people always say is, why should we take project management seriously? Why is project management important? I've never seen a product in the market named project management. I have looked at the top 5 careers in the next 5 years, and I didn't see project management. So why then is project management important? Well, I want to tell you why, by looking at just 3 things. A lot of people believe fundamentally that organizations are put together to make profit. Whether that's right or wrong, I don't know. But I want to ask you, I want to confirm. So if you can, please put a chat in. Why do you think that businesses exist, or organizations exist, or companies are formed? Why? So let's see. If you can just type your response, it will be great. I want to make days as engaging, as action-oriented, and as practical as possible, if at all possible. So I'm getting some interesting feedback here. So someone said to solve problems, someone said to make profit primarily. I have to make profit, to provide business solutions, to provide a service and make money, to make profit, stakeholder satisfaction. All right, great. These are really good stuff. For those who are, or to those who said organizations exist primarily to make profit, I'm kind of sorry to disappoint you. That's not the primary reason why companies exist. Nobody wakes up today or one day and says, I want to start a company just to make profit, just to make money. Nobody starts a company because they want to make money. That's not the driver. That's not the reason. People or organizations or individuals start companies because there is a particular market. There is a particular geography. There's a particular demography. There's a particular set of people that have a particular problem, that have a particular need. And some people have ideas on how to meet that need, on how to solve that problem. Because these customers, we call them customers, or these people, or this market, or this demography, or this space has a need. And we believe that we have an idea, we have a solution that can address that need. That's usually why organizations or why people start businesses. The secondary reason, which is tied to the extent that that problem is solved, is profit or loss. Now, these guys have some needs, but they also have money that they are willing to pay in exchange for the solution that addresses their need. Now, company A starts because they've seen that need, they've seen that problem. And the way to be able to solve that problem is nothing but just to put in place an internal structure, internal capability that will help to provide products or services or solutions that will meet the needs of these stakeholders or of these customers or this market. It is the extent that that need is met that the organization will either make profit or run at a loss. We will use those internal capabilities, IT, sales, HR, finances. We will use them in one way or the other to be able to provide some solutions. The customers will consume that solution, and based on their level of satisfaction, they will give the company or the business money in exchange. And that's when profit or loss will come in. So this is a super perfect system. Just continue to use your internal capabilities to deliver products and services to the customers. The customers will consume it, and then they will pay you, and then you make money. But then we know that we don't live in a perfect system. There's actually no system that is perfect. Because down the line, just down the road, there is another set of people, very interesting people, that are also targeting the same customers, that are also targeting the same demography, that are also targeting the same market. And their objective is to entice, is to get the attention of these customers. So what that means is, with these guys, you call them competition. With these guys in the play, we cannot continue to do the barest minimum, because they are competing for the attention of the same people that we're servicing. So this introduction then changes the dynamic of an organization's model. On one side, while the organization is using the internal capability, on the other end of the organization, they'll start working on innovation. Something that will help them to increase the stickiness that they have between the customer and the organization. Constantly looking for how to improve the value that they're delivering, the services and the product that they're delivering to the organization. To the customers. They'll come with innovative ideas. They'll have strategies. They want to do new things. They want to do current things better. But we all know that strategy, innovation without execution is worthless. You can have the best idea ever. If you don't work on that idea, it remains an idea and you won't win the market. And what helps us to bring those innovations to life? What helps us to make those strategies move from idea, move from plan to real product is project, program, portfolio management. STEMHub started with one thing in 2017. And they've done 5, 6, 7 additional things. Those things started as ideas. How about we have STEM Star? But without using project management as a vehicle, that STEM Star will still have remained an idea in the heads and the minds of the founders and the team. We want to empower our community. We think we should empower our community with enough capabilities in project management, in product development, and in data analytics. Without using project management as a vehicle to drive that idea, it will just remain, we want to. And that's why project management is very, very important in organizations. It helps you to deliver better value, either through product or services. Every organization, whether social or commercial, operates with this model. As a social enterprise, you will continue to get funding from the government when you're delivering value. If you're not doing cool things, nobody will want to support you. If those things are just ideas, you haven't implemented them, nobody wants to support you. If you go for, say, investment, you know, I used to watch this show a lot, Shark Tank. And when you have brilliant ideas, they will ask you, have you launched to the market? What's your sales like? Because that's how you actually show that you've done something. And it's project management that helps you to get things done. Idea is great, but it's in the implementation. In 2014, 2015, thereabout, McKinsey and Company did a fantastic research. And I tell you what they did. Towards the end of 2014, they met with 50 organizations. They met with 50 organizations and they asked them 3 questions. They asked them, do you have a strategic objective for 2015, 2016? All of them said yes, we do. They asked them a second question in 2014. Do you think that achieving your strategic objective will help in improving customer satisfaction? All of them said yes. Yes, once we achieve this strategy, we believe that our customer satisfaction rating will go really high. And then they asked them a third question. Do you think that achieving this will help to improve your business performance? Again, all of them said yes. A year after, early 2016, they went back to those 50 companies and then they asked them, December 2014, we came to you and we asked you some questions. Now, we want to ask you follow-up questions. And then asked the 50 people, have you been able to achieve your strategic objective for 2015? About 44, 45 of them said yes, while the remaining 5 to 6 said no. So they noted that. And then the second question was, that they asked them was, do you have a project management capability or a project management practice in your organization? So out of the 44, 45 people, organization that said they'd been able to achieve, over 90% of them said, yes, they have a project management function in their organization. And then, more than 90% of the remaining 5 or 6 organizations said they didn't have project management function. And what McKinsey and Company deducted from that research was project management is integral to business performance, is integral to strategy achievement, and is integral to customer satisfaction. Project management is at the center of those 2 things from research. Another why that I want to give it. So this is London 2012, not 2021, London 2012. So about 2 decades ago, the UK government and the French government came together and then they initiated a project. They call that project the Channel Tunnel Project. And the overarching objective of that project was to create a tunnel from Kent in England to Paris in France. At the beginning of the project, they budgeted the project at, something around 2.3 million pounds, something like that. And then they said they were going to complete it in about 5 years. But at the end of the project, they ended up spending over 4 million British pounds. And then they completed within 7 years, So it was like, what? Over 80% over budget. And then, about 25% delay. But the same UK government in 2011 had the London 2012 Olympics project. The game started sometime in July 2012, but as at January 2012, they issued a progress report. And in that report, they said that they had been able to complete over 97%. That's 6 months before the project. They've been able to do over 97%. And they've been able to make about 42% cost savings. Now, a lot of analysts went into, analysis to understand what's the reason for that outstanding performance. And at the end, they realized that it was the adoption of global best practice project management. That's what's responsible for that achievement. Best practice project management, utilizing the processes, the techniques, and the principles of project management. I will skip this. You have heard this, ideas rule the world. Actually now, not exactly. It's the implementation that helps to bring the idea to life. And that's what actually rules the world, execution. And that's project management. So with this, we know our project management is really important to whatever it is the organization is doing. If you're a product organization, you need project management to be able to deliver that project. If you are a research organization, every research will have its root in project or project management. Matter of fact, projectizing everything that the organization does will help to achieve greater business results. So let's look at a few things that we're going to cover today. We're going to start with the definition of a project. I will use the 5 W's concept to explain projects. I didn't manufacture, actually, no. I didn't create the 5W. It's a very popular theory, but I adopted it and I adapted it to be able to explain what project is. So I'll use the 5Ws of the project. We will look at what is project management very quickly. We'll look at the difference between project and operations. We'll look at the triple constraint, another very important concept in project management. We'll look at the different ways organizations are structured, project lifecycle. We'll look at why we initiate project, and then we'll end up with the definition, the profile of a project manager. So let's start. Again, I would have loved to say, can you type into the chat box what you think project is? Anyone? Let's quickly do this in 30 seconds. What is a project? What do you understand by the word project? What comes to your mind when you hear project? How do you describe project to your 5-year-old nephew or niece or someone who has little or no understanding of project? What is a project? Anyone? 30 seconds more. Let's see. Implementation of ideas. Absolutely. Absolutely. Implementation of ideas. Yeah, great. Okay, so let's go. Idea that is in process of being conceptualized into reality, a project and activity with set objective and timeline. Awesome. So let me introduce you to the definition of a project. A project is a temporary endeavor. You hear people say, oh, I worked on a project in the past. It means that they've completed the project, they've finished the project. So it's a temporary set of activities. It's a temporary assignment. It's a temporary engagement that we undertake, that we perform to be able to create something unique. I mean, before now, there was no STEM star. At the end of designing and coming up with the idea and designing and implementing, we then added STEM star to the initiatives from STEMHub. Someone who met with the STEMHub team before that project would say, hey, come on, wait, there's something unique. You guys have added new thing. That is the uniqueness. A temporary endeavor that is undertaken to create something new, something different, something unique. And that thing can either be a product, a service, or a result. You need projects to bring product to life. You need projects to introduce new services. You need projects to enhance, to upgrade, to modify existing solutions, projects, or products. And you have to do that within a particular period of time. It's not something that you continue to do. You have to launch it. Now, this definition that I showed you is from, PMI, one of the institutions that governs and administers and advances best practice in project management. There's another definition from another organization or another body. They're kind of saying about the same thing, but using different words. So they say that a project is a temporary organization, a temporary setup, a temporary group of people that is created for the purpose of delivering, for the purpose of introducing, for the purpose of changing, for the purpose of launching one or more business products according to an agreed understanding of a need, according to an agreed understanding of a problem, according to an agreed understanding of a gap in the market. There's really no way that you launch a product without driving that through project. And we want to continue to do, ideas are plenty. You want to bring in new ideas, you want to keep our customers engaged, you want to stay ahead of competition. And you can't continue to do the same thing the same way to achieve that market leadership or to continue to be in business. But how do I really explain project that makes it clear to everybody? Again, I use this 5W theory. Nobody starts a project without a reason. There's always a reason. That's the why. STEMHub realized that there is a gap in STEM knowledge in a particular community. STEMHub realized that there is an opportunity in STEM, but our people are not built enough to be able to explore those opportunities. That's the why. That's the reason. The next is, what then can we do to be able to address the why? What then can we do to be able to bridge the gap? And at this point, at the what point, I can assure you there'll be more than one possible recommendations. There'll be more than one options. You know where I come from, there's this saying that, how do I say it? Someone help me. More than one road to the market. Damila, can you please mute? Yes, sir. So we have the what. What can we do to bridge that gap? What can we do to improve the competence and the capabilities of our people to be able to explore the opportunities in STEM? I have so many what. And then we need to come up with business cases for each of those options, for each of those ideas. And then we'll use a typical project selection technique. We compare those ideas, we look at the benefit of each, we look at the cost of each, we look at the risk, we look at the timeline and a couple of other factors, and then we choose the most appropriate at that time. And then the next is, who are the stakeholders? Who are the people that we need? Who are the people that will be involved in bringing this what to life? Who are the people that will be impacted as a result of this what? The who. And then we say, okay, so when do we want to then have, when then do we want to have this masterclass? We want to start June 12, very good day to start. And then we want to end in August. That's the when. Remember, a temporary endeavor. And then at the end of August, we want to see the uniqueness in the value that we delivered. We're going to send you a feedback form or, that kind of form to say, how has this impacted you? What are the things that have changed in your capability, in your understanding? That's the uniqueness. And then we'll hear things like, at the end of that training, at the end of that, 3-month masterclass, man, my knowledge went off the roof. Now I know how to manage project. Now I understand product development. That's the uniqueness that wasn't there before you started. And then for some, where? So there is a difference between project and operation. Project is temporary. It ends after some time. But operation is ongoing. You continue to do it. I'm in operation, so I continue to do the same thing. Also, what I am going to be creating at the end of doing the work for project is new, is unique. We haven't done it before, or we haven't done it this way before. But for operation, it's sort of like the same thing, repetitive.
Hi, Bola. Somebody mentioned that they saw 3 of the 5 whys. Can you expatiate on the remaining 2?
Okay, so we have the why, which is the first. The next is what. What do we need to do to be able to address the why? The third is who. Who are the people that are going to be interested or impacted by the what that addresses the why? The fourth is when. When do we want to start? When are we going to end? And then the fifth is where. To some projects, you don't have where. To some, you may have where. But the first 4 are very important. Sounds good? Cool. Just continuing to service the customers, we use operation to do that. But to introduce new things, to introduce change to the market, to the organization, to the system, we need project. So project is temporary while operation is ongoing. Project creates something that is unique. Operation creates something that is sort of repetitive. Project closes after we've attained the objective, while operation is just to sustain the business, business as usual, run the business. I use an example here. Prototyping the new car model is a project. That new car model becomes an addition to the fleet of cars that the company or that the organization has. Then assembly line production is literally just, using that model, coupling things. So it's about the same thing that they're going to be creating. And then we have, can someone help list it? Okay, I think I just answered that. All right. So we've looked at project. Then what is project management? When they say that there's something, it's different when you have money and it's different when you manage money. Managing money means that you are applying some skills, you are applying some concepts, you are applying some practices, you are applying some methods to the money that you have. So when we bring that same concept to project management, it means that we're applying our knowledge of project management. We're applying the skills. We're applying some tools and techniques to project activities to be able to meet the expectation or the objective of that project. Techniques like time management, like budgeting, like estimation, like communication, like coordination, like leadership. You need to apply those to project activities to be able to deliver the expectation of the project. Now, every project will have at least 3 agreements every project. No matter the size, the nature, the complexity of the project. At least 3 agreements. Between everybody involved on that project. The first agreement is scope. Everybody has to agree on what the scope of the project will be. And when I say scope, I mean the entirety, the boundaries of the project, everything that will be included in the project. For the masterclass, the scope of the project is project management, product management, data analytics. We're not going to talk about customer service because it's not part of the scope of the project. So we have to agree with this first. The second thing that we have to agree on based on this scope is the time. Based on what we understand to be the scope, how long is it going to take? And then the third is cost. So you have the project sitting on these 3 things. Once we have that agreement at the beginning, the stakeholders, everybody is expected to have the agreement, and then at the end, we expect the project to deliver the scope within the time under the budget that's approved. So we sent out communication to say, well, the scope of this masterclass is project management, product development, product management, and data analytics. And it's going to be for, 9 weeks. Now, at the end of 9 weeks, you expect us to have delivered project management, product management, and data analytics, because that's what we agreed on at the beginning. We also agreed that we will deliver that within 9 weeks. So you don't expect it to extend beyond 9 weeks. And then we agreed on how much it's going to cost for subscription for Zoom, for paying for this, for facilitator, for all of this. And we expect to meet all these 3 agreements at the end. So at the beginning of the project, when you're managing your project, as a project manager with your team, you're going to have an agreement on these 3 things. They call them the golden triangle. Scope, what's going to be included? What are we going to be delivering? Everything that is part of it. We shared the overall goal or objective of this training, this masterclass. At the end, you want to be able to do this, do this, do this. This is going to be included. This is going to be included. Day 1, we'll do this. Day 2, we'll do this. Day 3, we'll do this. And then, cost. And then we agree. So we are expected to manage the project in such a way that we meet this agreement. Now, what happens when there is a change in one of the elements? Let's assume, for example, that after week 2, someone comes and says, can you please add customer service or business analysis to this? What happens is, because we have this scope agreed at the beginning, and we've used this scope to determine how long and how much, if there is a change in the scope, automatically either time or cost or both of them will have to be impacted or will be impacted, because we're changing one leg. If we're shortening one leg of a three-legged chair or table, if we're shortening one leg, we know that we have to adjust the other legs as well to ensure that what's sitting on that table or on that chair is balanced. And we're going to look at all of this when we go into planning and executing projects. All through, don't compromise the quality. At times people say, oh, can you add one more to the scope of the project? Okay, we can manage to add one more. And by trying to manage to add one more, you don't want to spend more money, or you still want to deliver within the time. It's possible that you may impact the quality of the project. So make sure that whatever adjustment, whatever compromise that we're making, quality is not impacted. Dr. Adi was saying we bring in, really great guys, X, Y, and Z. I consider that a real privilege for her to say that to me. But someone comes and says, you know what? These guys are charging, say, $12,000, for example. Oh, we don't have all of that money. Let's do it for $6,000. I say, okay, we still want to deliver the 9-week masterclass, and we don't have $12,000 or $15,000. What can we do to still be able to deliver 9 modules or 9-week masterclass? Okay, let's not hire the people that will charge a lot. Let's maybe hire someone that won't charge a lot. I'm not saying this is all the time true, but it's possible that by trying to manage cost, you may get some people that won't deliver quality. So we have to be very careful. We have to ensure that these 3 agreements are balanced at the same time. Has to be balanced at the same time. I wanted us to do this, but we're not going to do it, so let's move on. Yeah, again, let's move on for this one. So let's look at project, program, portfolio, because what you will find is when you start working as project managers, when you start working in a project, you may find yourself working as part of a program or as part of a portfolio. So we've explained what a project is: a temporary endeavor that's undertaken to create a unique product, a unique service, or a unique result. Now, when we have program, what happens in a program is we see more than one project put together, but those projects are actually related. And there's a reason why we've decided to put everything together, because there's a benefit that we will get when we put them together that we may not get if we decide to manage them individually or separately. If you're saying, oh, I'm going for a program. In the program, you will see music. In the program, you will see comedy. In the program, you will see jokes. In the program, you will see food. All of those things are part of the program. And the overarching objective of that program is to provide entertainment, for example. So we've not said, okay, well, for this one, we'll just give you music. you go to another place and go and get food. You get to another place to get something else. We put all of that together because we're able to control. I like to think of STEMHub in a way as a program, but then again, I think it may be a portfolio. So under STEMHub, we have STEM Star, we have STEMing, we have all of these other things, STEM Scholars. They are all individual projects targeting at improving people's STEM awareness, STEM knowledge, and all of those things. So we decided to put all of those together as one big program and not as standalone companies. And the kind of benefit that we get is we're able to use 2, 3 social media guys across all of those initiatives. So that's a program. In your organization, you may find yourself working as part of a program. Another example is a digital transformation program, some experience that I've had in the past with an organization. We were working on digital transformation program. And the overall objective was to increase the digital touch points in the organization and to get some automation. So within that program, we had, a client portal. Within that program, we had a mobile app development. Within that program, we had workflow automation. All of these projects were under that digital transformation program. And we're able to use resources, shared resources across the so many projects. The senior vice president could ask for what's going on that program, and then we can report at once. More than one project related put together is a program. And then we have portfolio. So portfolio is a collection of projects, programs, and other work that are grouped together because there is a strategic business objective that we want to achieve. Actually, portfolio management started from investment banking, asset management. An investor comes with, say, $50 million, maybe more, and says, well, I want to get 10% return on this investment. And then the investment managers and investment analysts would then look for several financial instruments. They invest some in properties, they invest some in GIC, they invest some in stocks, they invest some in Bitcoin, and all sorts. So you have projects, program, and other work grouped together to be able to meet a particular strategic business objective. So why then do you think that organizations initiate projects? So we've looked at project, we looked at project management. Why would an organization want to start a project? There are several reasons. Because of time, again, I'm not going to ask you to type it, but the first one can be market demand. There is a demand, which can be a pressure at times, placed on organizations based on the happenings in the market, based on the direction that the market is going, based on what competition is doing, based on disruption in the market. Because a lot of people are waking up, maybe still are, waking up to Bitcoin. This company then decided to create a project that will allow their customers to pay with Bitcoin. CIBC was the first to introduce remote check deposit. And as a result, BMO, TD, Scotiabank, RBC had to implement the same capability, market demands. It can also be a business need, an internal need in the organization. We have a need in our organization, and we need to have projects to be able to meet that need. It may be anything. One time, in a company that I used to work a long time, something happened. A long time, not here, Something went missing in the organization, and we couldn't really track who was in and who wasn't at that time. So the management came and said, I think there's a problem here. We should be able to know who comes in, who goes out, when they go in, when they come in, X, Y, and Z. And then they started a project. They initiated a project to install CCTV cameras and also to put in place access control. That wasn't a product for the market or for customers. It was an internal need. Or we realized that another project that I worked on, we realized that we're losing our top talent. And when we asked them why, they said that they felt that the appraisal system in the organization was super subjective. So we wanted to change that, to be able to ensure that we are appraising people effectively. So they implemented a 360-degree appraisal system where the manager appraises the team member again gets a chance to appraise the manager, and then the people that the team member works with also gets to appraise the team member. So it's 360. With that, we've been able to remove that subjectivity element of performance appraisal. That was an internal need. It wasn't any client facing. It wasn't any regulatory compliance. The organization needed that business need. Another reason is customer request. This is different from market need. Our customers are asking for this directly. That's where you hear people say, well, you asked for it, we've responded, and we are launching this. Customers specifically requesting for this one. And the request got so much that the organization said, hey, we need to implement this, or we need to start developing this product. And of course, they use project to launch the product. Specific request from their customers, not really what the market is saying. We also have technological advancement. We're doing an upgrade to our system. We're moving from Microsoft this to Office 365. We're upgrading. We're changing from Oracle to maybe Salesforce. So we're implementing this, those, that, and everything. We're migrating because of the advancement in the technology space. We also have legal requirements. So legal requirement is like, regulatory compliance. The government of Ontario said every organization must have that social distance guidelines. And then they started the project to, to do all of the markings and all, just to comply with the regulatory requirements. And a couple of other, examples, like the banks, you have like the central bank, the telecom, like the, for those from outside of here, the NCC will say you must do this, new band number, SIM registration, 911, update, all those kind of stuff are projects that were initiated as a result of legal requirements. And then, we also have social needs and environmental consideration. In the next 15 minutes, which is what the remaining time that we have, I want to...
Before you go forward, can I have something there?
Yes, please.
I want to
go back.
I want to spin that topic a little bit for professionals who are on here. So I'm a career coach, and a lot of time people come to me and say, how do you get visible at work? So because we're professional, let's talk about that for a bit. How do I get visible? Dr. Adi, you have all this visibility, you're getting paid and you're getting awards. How do you get visibility? And there is an opportunity to talk about that here. What type of projects are you participating in within your company? Because that determines the level of visibility you will get. Are you participating in projects that is highly demanded by the company, or a technologically advancement related project? Those projects usually have a high likelihood of having management involvement. They would have that, management wants to know that they are not left behind in the industry. If everybody has moved to 3D printing, or other competitors are moving to 3D printing, your manufacturing company wants to invest in that to make sure that it can compete with the same level of muscle in the industry. And the question to you as a professional here is, you have not just come here to just come and learn the basic. I want you to get back and think about, okay, every year, I write out my OKRs, which is my objectives, my key results. I talk to my manager. We agree that these are my milestones that I need to cover this year. What type of projects are on that OKRs? Are those projects? Can you go back to that slide?
Oh, sorry. Apologies.
Do they meet some of this criteria? Because some of this criteria drive whether the project will give you the exposure, whether the project will give you the type of things that will cause you to be able to bargain for more pay or anything like that. So when your manager gives you, so if you're the kind that your manager is the one that say, this is what you're going to do, and you're not the one choosing, still ask yourself, why is this project the project I'm given? What is the bottom line? Is it really fulfilling business needs? Because a request for this, and if I do it well, that customer praises me to my manager and praises me to the company, then that gives me a competitive edge to be able to ask for that promotion. Is it a social need? So maybe you started an equity program, and then you're within your company, and then your manager said you should manage that. If it's a social need, if it's talking about hot issues like Black Lives Matter, LGBT, maybe that will get visibility if there's some pressure on the company. But if your company doesn't respect that, if that's not important to them, then you should be telling your manager, I don't want to be on a social need project. I want to be on technical advancement project, like 1, 2, 3. I want you to use this chart not only for what Bola said, but to use it to determine every project you take on. Where does it fall based on this matrix? And how does that affect the company? And how does that help you get the right visibility and help you bargain for better pay and help you also learn tools and skills that helps you advance your career? Thank you.
And to write a little on that, what happens is you get an opportunity to participate in a customer request, in a market demand, in a mission critical project. You do it well, successfully. Trust me, the next mission critical project, they'll think about you first. With that, you're able to even, have conversation about, salary review and all of those things. So,
I'm telling you, I have used this joker I've not been in this career space for too long, post PhD, 5 years now. My joker is every project I'm on, I am looking at this matrix and I am telling myself, this is where it fits. These are the skills I will learn from it. This is how it would help me with my career. These are the people that this project is important to. So I will make them stakeholders on my project, or at least they will get an awareness of the fact that I'm driving this project or I'm contributing to the project. That means you can use your 5 why. Once you plug in, the project is fulfilling technological advancement for the company, what's the bottom line? And then deploy that your 5 W's and help yourself really plan it like a project. This has helped me tremendously advance my career because people who are the right stakeholders, they have visibility to my contribution. People I define as a project. So what am I doing? And when am I doing it? So I apply the 5 W's in a way that is logical, and it makes me stand out as somebody that is not just wishy-washying around, as somebody that has a plan, as somebody who is extremely organized. And people tend to promote those people who are organized a whole lot. And that means people who they know what they're doing, like you're showing your work to them. I hope that helps you from the insight of how I am digesting this information.
Absolutely. And there is also maybe a lot of people don't do that here, but there's also this, oh no, that person is MD's favorite, or that person is. There's really nobody's, no MD wants to just like you for liking you. Say they like you because you add value, you bring value to the organization. And come on, who doesn't work with someone who is going to make the organization better? So good stuff, good stuff. Someone said, can someone in the HR field also do 100%? While you're in HR, there are a lot of implementation, there are a lot of HR related projects. I just explained the 360-degree appraisal system. That was an HR initiative. The office reintegration initiative is an HR project. So absolutely. Can one embark on a project with the aim of adding value to the company? Absolutely. With that not infringe on those who are employed in the department where the project I had worked on. So there is a way to, there's a way that you will get visibility by helping people, that it won't be like you're infringing, or it won't be like you're indirectly taking their job.
You're not taking anybody's job, if I can add to that. Everybody has a place on different projects, depending on the tools and skills and efforts that you bring to the table. And I know Bola will probably talk on stakeholder management at some point.
Yep.
And you could be a stakeholder on that project because you brought this particular skill set and expertise to the table. Now doing that piece of work that you're given extremely well is what makes you visible. That people know that your piece is done on time, it is done structurally, it fits into ensuring that that project is delivered to meet the company's needs and deliver value. So you don't have to take anybody's job. You can still do your own lane, but make sure that you are on a project that is fulfilling one of the needs, one or two of the needs that Bola put up in those boxes.
Right. I just wrapped that up by showing you this book by Robin Sharma. It's called The Leader Who Had No Title. You can lead, you can contribute to value in an organization, you can impact positively without necessarily even having the title of a project manager. So we have like 12 more minutes. Is it possible for a company to have more than one reason to? Absolutely. There's several projects that organizations will be running on. So now let's look at the project manager. Organizations will always want someone to chart the cost of every project. That person they will call the project manager. Now, this guy is assigned by that organization, is assigned by the performing organization. And I'm not going to assign you on my mission critical project if you haven't been tested, if you haven't displayed capability, if you haven't showed interest, if you haven't told me what you have done, what you can do. So that person is going to be assigned by the performing organization to ensure that the objectives of the project is realized. And the person develops, does all of the thing, works with the team, works with all the stakeholders, comes up with a budget, the scope, the schedule, and everything, and then literally manages all the interface points on the project. It's slightly different from a functional manager, but let's quickly look at the required skills that a project manager must have, or anybody that's interested in project management. What are the skills that you must have? Competence in field, resourcefulness, team building, leadership, communication, administrative, interviewing, organizational skills, entrepreneurial, conflict resolution, awareness of your own limitation, influencing, negotiating. Now let's look at all of this. Which one do you think is the most important? All of them are required, like you must have them, but which one is the most important? If you can just put it in the chat in 1 minute, it'll be interesting. Put it in the chat in 1 minute, it'll be interesting. Let's just hear, I just want to see your thought process. Put it in the chat, maybe 15 seconds actually. Okay, great. So I'm seeing resourcefulness, team building, communication, leadership, competence in field, organizational skills, leadership skills, stakeholder. By the time we're done, we'll have mentioned all of these skills. They're all required. You must have all of them. You must have all of them. But the most important is communication skills. In project management, it's communication skills. You can't really be an effective leader without communication skills. How do you want to negotiate or influence without communication? How do you want to do team building without communication? How do you want to do interviewing without communication? How do you want to resolve conflict without communication? All of these are required, like you must have them. But communication is big. The project manager spends at least 80% of his or her time communicating, listening, speaking, directing, organizing, coordinating. And then we also have some desired attributes, like, you should be able to tell story. You must be a storyteller, not even just on project, but in your own capability as well, in your own self. You must be able to tell story about how you've helped an organization, how you've delivered this project, how you've added this value. Storytelling, ability to connect with different people at different level in the organization, talking about stakeholder management, stakeholder engagement. Good and active listening. You should be able to listen and listen well. A lot of us don't listen enough. Courage to ask questions. When I say silly, I don't mean silly questions, but courage to ask really cool, intelligent questions. Ability to evangelize, ability to carry people along, ability to influence. You must be a collaborator. You must be visionary. You as a project manager must see the end of the project from the beginning and help people to see it as well and work with people to deliver it. We're not just launching a product. We're launching something that will improve the reputation or the position that the organization has in the market. Flexibility is also fantastic. You must be flexible. You must know when to lead You must know when to aid, and you must know when to push. There's some people that just need, leadership or support. There are people that you need to stand your ground for, on, and with. Push. And then, of course, great sense of humor. Let's spend the remaining 5 minutes, looking at organizational structure. You're going to be working in an organization running project, and there are different ways that organizations are structured. And understanding this structure will help you to really know the roles and the impact that you're going to have while doing projects in the organization. So there are 3 types of organizational structure. Most of this we'll touch on in subsequent modules. Well, the first structure is a functional one, where organizations are arranged according to the function that they perform. At the top of the organization's org chart, you have the CEO or the MD or whatever that title is, the person that's driving. And then under that, you have several units. One unit will be, say, sales, and everybody in that unit will be in sales. The other unit is, say, HR, and everybody in that unit is HR. The other unit is, say, IT, and everybody in that unit is IT. So that's a functional organization. And whenever there's a project in HR, someone in HR will act as a project manager, and then will lead the implementation or the development of that project. When there's a project from IT, someone in IT will take on that project manager responsibility or role, and they will help in the implementation. On the other side of functional is projectized, where every department, every unit is arranged according to the function, according to the project that they perform. So the sort of head of the project, head of the unit is the person that is leading the project, the project manager, for example. And then in the middle, you have the matrix organization, which is a blend or a hybrid between the functional and the projectized. And you can have the matrix that is weak, you can have the matrix that is strong, and then you can have the matrix that is balanced. So a typical weak matrix is an organization that is very close to a functional organization. The strong one is very close to projectized, and then the balance is, the project manager and the line manager sort of share 50-50 responsibility or control. And that is where I will end today's module. I will be available for questions. If anyone's got any question, I'll be available in the next few minutes. Thank you, and I hope you've learned 1 or 2 things from today's session.
Thank you so much for leading us in this session today. And if you have a few questions, we have 3 more minutes. So please go ahead and leave the question. Well, I will wait to read out the question. So please do that. While we wait for your questions, we want to please ask that you fill out the survey. We just dropped the survey in because we want to understand how you feel about the session and whether there is something we could do better next week. And also if there's something else you'd like to learn so that we can make sure to get that to you. If you're wondering what we'll be covering in this project management module, please make sure to look on the pages so that you can really see what we're planning to cover over the 3 weeks. Our aim is that, this is the introduction. Our aim is that you just don't come for the introduction and then forget to come next week where you get the real meat, and then the week after where you get a whole lot of tools and opportunities. Please, we want to make sure that you have that in your calendar saved. We will send you emails reminding you about the sessions, but we want to ask that you put this in your calendar from 10 a.m. Eastern time for the next 2 Saturdays. Any questions so far? Please drop them in the comment section so that I can read it out. One of the reasons why we chose our instructor is that one of the things I told him when I talked to him at first is it's very critical that professionals, even if they don't want to do full-blown PMP, is there anything that they can add to their current tools that they're using to make them get organized better, to make them do their work a lot better? I hope that this today has done something for you. We covered good amounts of information that can cause you to reflect about how you work and what you do and the process you're applying. I hope it has done that for you. I don't see any question here. Again, you will get a reminder from us. We will also send before the end of the day today, hopefully, the survey again, because we need your feedback. It is important to us. At STEMHub, we were very opportune to get some funding from the government of Canada. So they're the one powering this for us. They gave us some money. So we're paying our instructors something. I said that to you so you don't just think, oh, it's all free. It doesn't really matter. We are paying the instructors for you. We're paying them a token. It's not a lot of money. The value is more than that. We're paying them for you to have career advancement, for you to do your job better. We take you serious enough to put our money in it. Please take us serious enough to be here next week. And the